Chapter 4 The Show 8 o'clock came and I exited my room with a clean white shirt and brown tie. Following the signs, I had found my way to the stage room. This room seemed like the most normal of the whole attraction. There was a stage with a bright red curtain and columns all around the room. I took a seat at one of the many circular tables where many others were sitting. I sat and waited for my, I suppose you could call her, date. A few more people came in, with Amy following them. She had a cute dress and was very beautiful. All of a sudden, it dawned on me. What about Marianne? I never agreed that this was a date, but maybe this was a kind of formal show and she just wanted to go with someone with whom that she had become friends with. She found me and sat down next to me. All of a sudden, the lights dimmed, and a spotlight flashed onto the stage. Music started to play, and the curtains opened. They revealed a woman in a red, somewhat Asian-looking dress. At this time, she began to sing. The song sounded very familiar, for two reasons. First, I had a certain liking for the song, and secondly, my great-grandfather had heard the same song in a club in Hong Kong. The song was Anything Goes, which was sung by one of his female companions, Willie Scott. He told me that Miss Scott had sung this song in Chinese. I bet Nicholas would have liked to hear that version. However, it was fine that this impersonator's was an English version. Everybody seemed to be having a good time until the singer hit a really high and long note. Just then, the audience started to laugh and laugh. I couldn't figure out why. I mean, the singer was amusing, but not that much. I turned my head and saw Amy was laughing hysterically as well. You could even say it was hysterical. See what I did there? I then noticed that there was a gas flowing into the room. That was anything but funny. I knew I had to get out of there. I quickly took a napkin from the table and covered my mouth. I then tried to see my way through the thick cloud of gas. I reached the stage and climbed up. I realized that the gas was coming from the stage. The room was entirely filled from the toxic air, and I could barely see a thing. Somehow, I stumbled off of the stage and struggled my way to the door. I wasn't able to see if Amy was up or down. I pushed open the door and crawled out of the performance room. Now, if you thought I was out of the woods then, boy were you wrong. It turned out the entire common area/restaurant was pitch black, with only a few lights and red glowing letters from the exit signs. Soon, I started to hear strange sounds, moans, and creaks. I quickly dashed to my room, trying not to trip on any chairs or tables. I finally got back to the hotel wing and my hotel room. The time on the clock read 11:35. I was astonished. Why? Because Amy and I left at 8. My parents were sitting watching TV, and they could see I was out of breath. Why, Danny, is something the matter? Did you and Amy have a nice time? I just nodded and was still breathing heavily. I rushed in my room and slammed the door. Jumping onto my bed, I threw my fedora next to me and just sat there, wondering what happened to her. Just then, I heard a wailing sound coming from the AC vent. Air conditioning for the abbreviated impaired. I couldn't be quite sure, but it sounded faintly like a girl's scream. I quickly dismissed it because I thought I was going through some hallucination moment or something. With this and everything else that happened tonight, I knew this was going to be a very strange thing I was facing.